From Jeff Beck to Jimmy Page, our next guest was a major influence on British guitar heroes of the 70s. And this month, Kiwi audiences will get a taste. Here's former Shadows lead guitarist Hank Marvin and team. Well, we just had a taste of his upcoming tour. A legendary guitarist Hank Marvin now joins me. Good morning. That was pretty cool. A little bit different to what, you know, what we're used to from you. This is Gypsy jazz. Tell me about that.
Very different, yeah. Well, Gypsy jazz started back in the 1930s with Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli. It's basically swing music, but instead of being played with trumpets, brass sections, drums, it's confined to stringed instruments like guitars, violin, or in this case an accordion.
You can't stop moving when you listen to it, can you?
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's very cool indeed. When was the last time you were here with bands singing and...
Oh, the last time was 3 years ago, Cliff and the Shadows reunion tour, the world tour, and we did some concerts in here in New Zealand, and it was great. Went to a fabulous restaurant here. I shouldn't plug anyone, but it was great.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I won't ask you. Antoine, yes, it is a goodie. It is indeed. So swing music and great tunes, but if we were to go back a year or two, or even a few more, to the times with Cliff and the Shadows, into the 60s, what you know, do you have fond memories of going back that far?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Look, when we started the first tour we did, Bruce Welsh, one of my colleagues in the Shaz, myself, was 16.
Yeah, wow.
Bruce was, Cliff was 17. He's always been that bit older, you know.
Yeah.
And the drummer, Tony Meehan, who joined us a couple months later, was 15.
Wow, didn't realise that.
We were pretty young, and it was very exciting for us, one, to start traveling around the UK and then eventually getting into Europe, into the USA, obviously coming to Australia and New Zealand in 1961.
What was the public attention like? We've just had One Direction here last weekend, and you know what, the hotels are in their throngs outside.
Yeah.
Did you experience a similar type of thing?
Yes, it was very much like that. I remember even the first tour we did with Cliff, there were hundreds of kids outside the stage door just waiting for a glimpse of him.
Yeah.
And places like South Africa was just phenomenal. We went there and it was really a toss-up between Cliff and Elvis over there.
Ah.
And we left there. Cliff had about 3 or 4 records in the top 10. We had 3 in the top 10. And the crowds were from the airport all the way into the city, lining the road. It was like royalty arriving. I've never seen anything like it before or since.
What was it like with you guys and the Beatles? Because you were just before them.
A few years before.
Yeah. What was there sort of rivalry between you, or did you get on?
Not really. I mean, when the Beatles came on the scene, I just loved what they were doing straight away, and we met them very early on in the piece, before they were really big.
Yeah.
Went to see them at a gig, and there was like about a third full house. No one screamed at them. And I thought, these guys are good. We met them. We used to get together at party time. And then, of course, as they got big and started traveling more and more overseas, we saw less and less of them. But we did meet up now and again at Abbey Road Studios, where we both recorded. Right. So the relationship kept on. And actually, Paul McCartney used to send me a bottle of champagne every Christmas. He stopped doing that now.
Has he? Tight bugger.
I think he's running short of money.
Is that what it is? Maybe. Do you still see Cliff much these days?
Not often. The last time I saw Cliff was in Perth in February. He came on his Australasian tour. And he usually asks me if I'll get up to do a few songs with him if I'm around, which I love doing. So we got together, did a few songs on a show, had a bite to eat. But we just meet up. You know, if I'm in the UK and he's there, we'll meet up. It's not like we're in each other's pockets, but the friendship as such, we just pick up where we left off.
That's very cool, especially after all this time.
Yeah.
You're one of the best in the business. Do you think about the people that you have inspired, famous and even the not so famous?
Not really. Look, it's flattering when people of the stature of sort of Clapton or Jeff Beck, Brian May, make me flattering. And when this originally came to light, I was very surprised. I didn't. Look, I knew we had a great influence in the early '60s on people, but I didn't realise it extended to those sort of guys who obviously went on to make their own way with their own style, perhaps into heavy rock or blues. But it is a good feeling.
Apparently Billy Connolly took up the banjo because of you.
Billy's funny. Years ago, we had an awards dinner for the Shads, a lunch actually, and Jimmy was getting up to speak, and he was on my table, and he said, look, I'm not going to swear.
You're right.
He got at me. He was really funny. He said, you know, the Shadows were ahead of their time. He said they were ugly before the Rolling Stones.
As only you can. Do you still like playing live?
Love it.
Yeah.
There's something special about playing to people and you get this reaction. Look, if they don't like it, they'll let you know. But when they do like it, you get this great buzz. You know, it's almost like playing with friends. So we're looking forward to this tour. But almost every artist I know would say that there's something special about performing live.
I can't imagine what it might be like to be playing at the O2 and you start a song, you know, one of the biggies, and the place just either erupts or goes silent, one or t'other, you know, to listen.
On that tack, one of the most moving experiences I had, Cliff and the Shaz did a couple of nights at the Wembley Stadium. Back in, it was 89 actually, and 1889. And, in our set, we did a few rocking numbers, and the crowd were really rocking. And then we changed the mood to go into a tune called The Theme from the Deer Hunter, Cavatina, which was a huge hit for us.
Right.
It's a most beautiful ballad. And I thought, how the heck is this going to go? They're all in a rocking mood. And as we started to play it, it went still. And people just slightly moving, couples back and forward, and it almost brought me to tears. It was beautiful.
Wonderful memories to have. So the tour kicks off tonight.
Tonight here in Auckland.
What can we expect?
Mason,
More of what we just saw.
Yeah, it's a gypsy swing tour, and we hope that the audience will enjoy what they're hearing. We try to put our stamp on it. You know, we don't copy the original stuff. We try to put something new in it. And I try to inject a lot of humour into the show too and sort of talk to the audience.
Very cool indeed. Well, all the very best. Have a blast. And happy birthday for a couple of weeks' time. 28th, isn't it?
Don't talk about it.
All right, we'll leave it on that. Thank you so much, Hank Marvin.
Thank you.